Ted Brooks checking in with the Sports Profits. Welcome back to TSP TV. Special episode, special series, Sports Profits Prep, when to choose the money line over the point spread. A lot of so-called experts are going to tell you never buy points, never choose the money line, maybe when it's a value dog. Just throw that out the window. These are guys that are capping 8 games a day. 61% record is what they're chasing. We're not there. If you work with us, you'll understand what I mean, understand why, but just say and understand that we are not there. So anyone who's watching this that disagrees with us, you can put your comments there if you want. We don't give a shit, straight up and down. It doesn't matter to us. I'm going to go over in this video some ways we implement the option of taking that money line over the point spread. Before I get into more detail, I must stress, traditional capping statistics, paid service, two different things, okay? So please be aware of that. Guys, the first thing I'm going to discuss is favorites and when to use the money line with them. You got to be careful here. A lot of times the public loves a team, it inflates it, money line, just stay away from a very heavily public favored team. A lot of this example is betting the Patriots. This is a side note, but the Patriots do very well against the spread. Their money lines are always inflated. It's just not a smart move. Now, two situations to use when talking about a favorite money line are as follows. When you think that the spread might be too high, okay? When you think that it's a safer option to take the money line. That's one. The other one, when you think that the bookmaker has an undervalued favorite, plain and simple. Before I get into those two, I'm just going to give you a little example about how you can shop it a lot of different ways based on the data that you have. You have a football team sitting at -4.5. Okay, to bring it to 3, you might be looking at minus 150, maybe 160. To bring it to 2.5, you're now looking at like 180, maybe 190. Money line, you may be looking at 200, 210. Just take the money line in that situation most of the time because yes, it is a higher clip, but you're getting a lot more probability on that one. You're going to have to look at the factor of the chance to win. So when I say just take the money line, I don't just mean start picking money lines on all the 4.5, on all the -4.5 teams. I mean, you have to have the right information. You actually have to have an exorbitant amount of information signaling to the win to do this. And you have to look at how many times this team's going to win by 1, 2, or 3 for it to make sense. You can't just start money lining every game because you're afraid of the spread. You have to play spreads, you have to play sharp spreads, and you mix intermittent money lines within, and that's our recipe for success. Maybe 75% spread, 25 money line, 80% spread, 20% money line. When you have these mixtures, you have success. We have success doing this, plain and simple. But even using the best mix and the best scenarios, we still don't recommend doing any of this without the supervision of a professional consultant, guys. Absolutely not. Now, when you're looking for an undervalued favorite, it's very important to go ahead and avoid high profile primetime games as it skews way too many factors, okay? So remember, the value is not in a primetime favorite. You're using the money line when you think that that spread's a little bit too high and it's not worth it to buy the points. But when you're looking for an undervalued favorite, it's just a favorite. It doesn't mean that you think they are or are not going to cover that spread. It's just you think that there's value in picking that team to win the game. So we look at the less popular teams going up against the higher profile teams. So the lower the popularity of the team, that's the favorite. The higher the popularity of the dog, the better of a mix that we have there. So that's one part of it. Now, when we use our paid service, you're going to get further advice on how to use trends, statistics, money lines, and how all that affects the undervalued favorite as well. And then, of course, you have another factor going into it, which is home field or home court advantage. And if you have all these things together, you have a huge recipe for success. If you don't and you need to do some running of data and statistics, we're going to give you a way right now on how to do that. So you want to assign a percentage on how likely you feel that that game is of winning. We're going to take just a Lakers Heat scenario and we're going to explain that to you in 1 second. So you take what you believe is the chance of winning, then the implied odds based on the money line, and you do some math and you figure out if it works. So we're going to take a look at the Lakers -150 against the Heat. Now, all factors calculated, we feel that the Lakers have a 66% chance of winning. Okay, what we're going to do is plug in 150 here, and you see that the implied odds come back at 60%. Our odds, 66%. Implied odds being lower, we're going to make that wager, Lakers on the money line. Next, stay tuned, coming right up, we're doing the underdogs on the money line and when to play on those.